The Power of the Daleks is a really influential Dalek story. This six-part Patrick Troughton episode from 1966 is entirely missing, and as a result, this story has rarely been broadcast. Not a single one of the 6 episodes of The Power of the Daleks exists in the BBC archives, and yet, the story of The Power of the Daleks has inspired writers of later Dalek stories, and elements of this episode have echoed throughout the chronology of Dalek episodes over the years. In the years following the junking of the original tapes of The Power of the Daleks, fans were able to experience this episode by listening to the original audio track. There were also stills from the episode that survived, as well as a handful of surviving clips from the episode. A novelisation for this story was written by John Peel and published in 1993. Several reconstructions of this episode were made, which made up for the lack of visuals with audio descriptions instead, some of which were narrated by original cast members. In 2013, Doctor Who's 50th anniversary year, a full animated reconstruction of this episode was made. It was the first lost episode of classic Doctor Who with no surviving episodes to receive the animation treatment, and it is also the only animated episode to feature a special edition re-release with updated animation. The fact that The Power of the Daleks received not 1 but 2 animated releases is a testament to how popular this episode is. It's a shame that The Power of the Daleks is lost, as it was not only Patrick Troughton's first episode, but it is also a great outing for the Daleks. They are at their most deceitful and manipulative yet, and it's brilliant. Writer David Whittaker does a fantastic job of characterising the Daleks as intelligent beings who are capable of employing any tactic to get what they want. This aspect of the Daleks' personality would go on to become a defining trait of the Daleks in both the new series and the Big Finish audios. The Power of the Daleks illustrates the Daleks' abilities to manipulate and exterminate in equal measure. It's a wonderful expression of everything that makes the Daleks great villains. Because of its unique story and great characterisation of the Daleks, there are many elements of the Power of the Daleks that have been used in later Dalek episodes. For example, aspects of this episode can be seen in Death to the Daleks, as both stories feature the Daleks dealing with a situation in which they are without power and forming a false alliance with humans with the ulterior motive of betraying their allies when it suits their purposes. The Power of the Daleks also directly inspired Victory of the Daleks, as both stories feature Daleks manipulating opportunistic humans to their own ends in order to create a new race of Daleks. In fact, many reviewers have pointed out in the past that all the best aspects of Victory of the Daleks are inspired to some extent by The Power of the Daleks. If you haven't seen The Power of the Daleks before, for now, the animated version is the best way to experience it, at least until the original missing episodes are found. Despite being one of the Daleks' earliest appearances, they make an excellent impression in this story, which depicts them as cunning and ruthless strategists, as they are in all good Dalek stories. The Daleks are also far more expressive in the animated version than they were in the original TV episodes. Daleks glare at people, narrow their pupil in suspicion or loathing, and move their arm and gunstick in a much more expressive manner. The animated version also updates the effects used in the story, as what was once a handful of Dalek props bolstered by obvious cardboard cutouts is now an impressive army of Daleks all chanting together in anticipation of their inevitable slaughter of the human population. The production line sequence in particular showcases how the animated version improves on the original in terms of visuals. The Dalek voices are also excellent in Power of the Daleks, and much of what we know to be the modern Dalek voice is inspired by the depiction of the Daleks in the late 1960s. In Hartnell Dalek stories, the standard Dalek speech pattern hadn't been fully realised yet, so sometimes Daleks would say things that viewers today consider to be wholly un-Dalek. By the time of The Power of the Daleks, however, the writers and Dalek voice artists had a clear idea of how the Daleks should speak, and this really helps them make an impression in this story. Overall, The Power of the Daleks is a classic, easily one of the top 3 best classic Who Dalek stories. It's a wonderful introduction to Patrick Troughton's second Doctor, there are some great side characters like Bragan and Lesterson, and the Daleks are a malevolent force to be reckoned with. What do you think of The Power of the Daleks? Let me know your thoughts on this story, particularly the animated reconstruction, in the comments below.